Peace and love, black family. It's the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. UMAR Johnson. I'm coming to you live and direct, Chi-Town. I'm in the building. We are in the Windy City. First visit in almost a year. I was here in Black History Month. But I'm driving to the Culture Connection, about to meet up with the security teams, Culture Connection. And soon when I turn the corner, I run into an available school for sale. Soon when I turn the corner, available school. So my question to Chicago, or my family in Chicago, you know I love you, but I want to know why y'all ain't been sending me no schools. Because here go one right now. I turn the corner and I see a sign that says school available. You feel me? And I'm look like it's in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? Right here in Chicago. You know, so I'm like, it wasn't on LoopNet. You know, I'm not a realtor, so I've been doing the LoopNet thing. It's not on LoopNet, but it's a nice little property. Actually, it's not that small, so I don't know what they're going to charge me for it, but I don't know if they leasing it or selling it. Just got a couple schools in St. Louis, so I got to go to St. Louis. We in our final quarter right now, family. I'm choosing a school New Year's Day. I'm dropping the bomb in Detroit. January 1st, Kwanzaa lecture, Detroit stand up, New Year's Day, Northwest Community Center. Shout out to the queen who sent me those schools from St. Louis this morning. That was a very pleasant blessing. Much appreciated to the sister who sent me the schools in St. Louis this morning. I'm definitely gonna go look at them. I'm gonna get all the last minute school visits in. October, November, December, I got to make a decision. Last minute school visits, October, November, December, I got to make a decision. You know, that's how we gonna do this. You know. That's how we gonna do it. Nice school though. You know. School for sale, got a little yard. Ain't nobody sent me there. Chicago, y'all ain't been sending me no schools, Chicago. What's up with that, Chi-Town? Y'all got to send me the schools, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know about the schools, how I'm gonna check out the schools? So y'all got to send the Prince of Pan-Africanism to schools, Chicago. You know what I mean? I looked at a couple of them, looked at a couple Chicago schools a couple weeks ago. I looked at a couple Chicago schools a couple months ago. They was okay. Not really nothing to jump at. They was okay, not really nothing to jump at. You know what I mean? I'm about to go check out a couple of schools in Gary, Indiana tomorrow. So we're going to hit up Gary, Indiana tomorrow. A couple schools there. You know how that go. You know what I mean? But since I was in Chicago, I couldn't resist an opportunity to link up, you know what I mean, with the Chicago family real quick. You know what I mean? So that's why the Prince is in town right now. You know what I mean? That's why the Prince is in town. We're going to do a little Q&A session. Ain't going to be the lecture. Lecture going to come either Kwanzaa or Black History Month for Chicago. The lecture is either going to come during Kwanzaa or Black History Month for Chicago. You feel me? But tonight just going to be a nice Q&A session. I haven't been to Culture Connect in about 3 years. I think the last time we did something Culture Connect was 2013, 2014. Shout out to the Culture Connection, Brother Justice, black-owned establishment, for letting me set this up at the last minute. Make sure y'all get here. You know how we do it, the Culture Connect. We pack out every time, all the time. So if you in Chicago and you coming through tonight, if you in Chicago and you coming through tonight, if you in Chicago and you coming through tonight, try to get there as soon as you can. You know, I got some t-shirts left over from Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio. Everybody who came out to Columbus, Ohio Saturday night. That was much love, much love, much love. Yassa Senegalese ain't seen me yet, but you will tonight. Yassa Senegalese ain't seen me yet, but you will tonight. So the address to the Culture Connection where Dr. Umar will be at tonight is 400 West 71st Street. 400 West 71st Street. As I said, no tickets are necessary, but there is a $5 donation because brother just got bills to pay. It ain't about capitalism, it's about the activism. But I definitely brought a couple of unapologetically African t-shirts. So I got some unapologetically African t-shirts left over from Columbus. I got some books. Come get your book. Even if you can't stay, come get your book. All my black parents in Chicago, Illinois, you know you need to read that book. Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. Psychoacademic Holocaust, the Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys. That'll be on sale tonight at Culture Connect. I also got some red, black, and green flags. Red, black, and green flags is in the building. You know what I mean? So we're going to have some fun. I'm answering questions tonight. This is not a lecture. I'm going to open up with an update, history and update of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Do or Die Theta FDMG. So I'm going to open up about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we go on Q&A. This is Chicago's opportunity to ask the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Papa, Mr. Unapologetically African, the most requested black scholar on the planet Earth. It's your opportunity to interact with me. And the reason I'm doing this is because Chicago, as you all know, I tell you all the time, has played a very unique role in my rise to prominence within the black struggle. You know, September 18th of 2010, September 18th of 2010, Brother Dawa, shout out to Brother Dawa. Hopefully he come through tonight. I ain't seen him in a while. Brother Cassius D, you still in the building? Where Brother Cassius D at? I ain't heard from him in a while either. But Brother Dawa sent me a email, or he called me back in September of 2010. I had only been in Chicago one time when Brother Dawa reached out. I had only been in Chicago one time to speak at the Roberto Clemente High School for Career Day. The first and only time to Chicago prior to the Dawa Israel interview was the Roberto Clemente High School for Career Day. And that's the only time I've been here. Okay? And shout out to Sister Medea Brooks. She made that happen, Sister Medea. I stayed with her and her family. We had a great time. So then that was like 2008, 7, 8, something like that. So then Dawa read one of my articles that was posted online about the war on black boys, hit me up. Dawa said, bro, somebody sent me your article. I got a public access channel. You know, I can't afford to get you here. I can't fly you in and none of that. You got to do that on your own dollar. I ain't built like that. But if you can get here, I will interview you on Chicago TV. So, you know, I perked up. I said, whoa, Chi-Town. That's the second largest black community in America, you know. So I perked up. I hit him up. I said, let's make it happen. So I booked my flight, booked my hotel. I never forget it because it was cold. It was cold in Chi-Town. And I stayed at this little cheap hotel. You know what I mean? Turned the heat up real high because I was sick. I caught a cold. Not in Chicago, but in Philly. But I caught a cold or whatnot. And I ordered a pizza. That pizza was good, though. I ate that pizza that night. Dawa picked me up from the airport, took me to the hotel. He came back the next day. Okay, we went to the studio. And we did Psychoacademic Holocaust War Against Black Boys. It's on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, it's on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you know what I mean, and type in Dawa Yisrael and Dr. Umar, you'll see it. I got on a white dress shirt, white tie. I got that extra sharp Philly shape up with the beard, white long sleeve dress shirt, white tie. Dawa had on a cultural outfit, dark background. And when the interview was over, Dawa gave me a copy of the DVD. Shout out to him because I said, Dawa, let me get a copy. He said, you know what? I'm going to give you this one, bro. I'll get one later. If he never gave me that DVD, let me show you how the universe works. If Dawa never gave Dr. Umar Johnson that DVD following that interview, I don't know if things would have happened as quickly as they happened right then. You feel me? Because right after that, I spoke in Harlem. Shout out to New York City. I will see y'all in Queens, December 2nd, New York City. The Prince will be back in Queens. So anyhow, I speak at the National Black Theater, 125th and 5th. Shout out to Harlem. And I got copies of the interview I did with Dawa. So we do Chicago, the second largest black city in America, on September 18th. And then 5 weeks later, we in Harlem, the largest black community in America, New York City, inclusive of all 5 boroughs. So I had copies of all the DVDs I've been doing through the years. African American Museum of Philadelphia, where I got my start. you know, a lot of people try to take credit for me. You know what I mean? But African American Museum and the Garvey movement, UNIA ACL, Division 121, 1609 to 11, Cecil B. Moore Avenue, North Philadelphia, stand up. And so I took copies of the Dawa interview, made copies, made them available for my first lecture in Harlem. My first lecture in Harlem. I had spoken in New York before, but it was only for the Garvey movement, for the UNIA, the RBG, greatest of organizations of all time, but never to the public per se. So this was my first New York City public lecture, October 30th, 2010. Mark the date. October 30th, 2010, the night before Halloween, when all through the house, not a creature was staring, not even the mouse. And the Prince of Pan-Africanism snuck into New York City. Nobody knowing who I was. And I dropped the Garvey grenade in Harlem on October 30th, 2010. And Black America ain't been the same since. So I had the Dawa interviews in Harlem. People start buying them up with all the other DVDs. Don't get me wrong. All the other DVDs is fire too. But the Dawa interview was new. It was recent. It wasn't that long. And it was super hot. So it was Chicago and New York. Chicago and New York. Because if it wasn't for the interview in Chicago, it wouldn't have popped. And if it wasn't for the lecture in New York, where I could distribute the Chicago interview to the largest black community in America, it wouldn't have popped. So it was a Chicago, New York thing. It was like a slingshot. Chicago and New York put Dr. Umar in a slingshot, pulled me back in that slingshot, and just let me go. And for the past 7 years, since September 18th and October 30th, Chicago and New York, 2010, this is our 7th year anniversary right now. This is our 7th year anniversary right now. That's what we celebrating at Culture Connection. We celebrating the 7-year relationship between the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Black Chicago, Black America, and being king of black consciousness. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. You know how we do. My security team is there. Culture Connect. You know, I just pulled over. Emmett Till Avenue. Shout out to Emmett Till, rest in peace. Fred Hampton, rest in peace. Ida B. Wells, rest in peace. All the Chicago heroes, you feel me? That's how we doing it live. Doors are open at Culture Connect. The doors are open at Culture Connect. $5 donation to the Culture Connection. Books, DVDs, flags, and t-shirts. The Prince is here. This is how me and Chicago get down. We set this up in like 24 hours, me and Justice. We set it up in like 24 hours. I've been getting texts and phone calls all day. You know what I'm saying? Ran into a school that's available. So it's been, I turned the corner to go to Culture Connect and I run into a school. You feel me? So I'm going to do what I do. Throw on one of my Ghana-made dashikis. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how the Prince do. Throw the dashiki on and we're going to do what we do. But we celebrating the 7-year anniversary tonight. 7-year anniversary. It looked like I might have a spot for Philadelphia for Kwanzaa. I still need a Chicago spot. I need a spot in Chicago for Kwanzaa. I need a church or somebody to let me in so we can do Chicago. We could use the church we did last time, but I think we're going to need more space for Kwanzaa. Shout out to the church that hosted me in Chicago last time. We can still do them if necessary, but I think we need a little bit more space. But much respect to them for holding us down. All right, fam, so I'm about to pull out. 7-year anniversary, Dr. Umar in Chicago, married at the hip for life. Looking forward to seeing all my brothers who ride with me, my Goonie goons who ride with me from Chi. The brothers in Chi ride hard. They hit me up. They say, Doc, if you have any problem, call this number. We not playing. You understand? We will do time for you. We will die for you. If you ever have a problem when you come to the city, you hit me up. So I got like 50 goons.